We have beat the sickness. Here we are. I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Lawrence Sutton, and the Giles County Rattlesnake, Chris Morris. How are y'all doing?
Doing good, buddy.
Doing great. It feels good to have you back in the saddle.
We're back, baby.
We miss you.
back. Well, I missed y'all. I appreciate it.
Right out of the bat. Shout out to Strikers.
Shout out Striker Steakhouse.
I bet you missed that way you look right now. You're about 20 pounds lighter. Looks like you didn't get to eat any Strikers, did you?
No, I hadn't been eating. I ate there the other day. I can't remember it. Me and a couple of boys went out there to eat. It was fantastic. Great service, great food. You can't beat it.
What do you think about Kip's shirt and his beard and everything? He kind of blends in real good, doesn't he?
Been doing a little dove hunting.
Yeah, I'm dove hunting a little bit. We just now come back from the sickness, so we're back in the saddle again, as they say.
Well, glad you're on the mend, but like we said, shout out to Strikers.
Shout out
we really
Strikers,
enjoy having them as a sponsor of the program. But Kip, need to talk about something with you.
Yes, Lord.
Lord, we need to bring this up. We got a big
Lord.
program coming up Thursday evening, October the 19th, 6 o'clock p.m. at the Memorial Building, 308 West 7th Street in Columbia.
Yep.
Big Murray County Trump rally.
We're having a big old Trump rally in Murray County on Thursday, 6 o'clock, Memorial Building. It's going to be great. We're just going to get together and have some fellowship, talk about the upcoming presidential election. We talk about it a lot on this show. There'll be signs there. There'll be, we're going to have some good food, good fellowship.
Good food. I worked on your food today.
Yes, sir. We appreciate that.
On the barbecue.
Barbecue, baby. If you like barbecue and you like Donald Trump, there's a place you need to be on Thursday. That's Memorial Building in Columbia, 6
And shout out to all three of y'all, State Senator Joy Hensley.
Yep, shout out Joey.
State Representative Scott Serpicki, and
Yep.
State Representative Kip Capley.
Yes, sir.
This is
We'll
who
be
is
supporting
sponsoring
Trump.
this rally. So
That's right.
thanks to you three gentlemen. Look forward to seeing everybody. Everybody who is listening is
right.
cordially invited.
Please, we need come
No matter
on, come
if you're
on.
not from Murray County.
That's right.
You from Lawrence County, Giles County, Marshall County, bring it on.
Wherever you want to come from, it don't matter. Come to the Trump rally on Thursday.
I plan on being there.
Yes, sir.
Had somebody call me up today, and we were talking about it, and
Great.
I'm like, yeah, I'll go to that one. You know, I was out of town, so I missed the dinner from last Saturday. I would like to have been, but I just had other things I had to do.
How'd you like that AR-15? I had that.
That was pretty slick.
Gentleman to make for the Murray County Republican
Yes, sir.
auction.
That was pretty slick. Had a good little AR raffled off, and it was good. It was a good event. Got a good update from Andy Ogles. Shout out to Andy Ogles, Murray County, and the other counties in Congress. And Wes Hunt did a good job. It was a good event.
Yeah, Wesley Hunt, congressman out of Texas,
Yep.
he did a great job.
He did.
You know,
Fantastic.
him and Andy both. Shout out to both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. They did a
But
great job.
did you like it inscribed on the side,
yeah.
Liberty or Death?
Absolutely.
That was pretty cool.
That was fantastic.
That picture you sent me is cool, too.
Oh
I
yeah,
like it, too.
yeah.
Very much so. We'll have to have a little talk after the show about that.
So
We'll mention it one more time at the end of the show. The rally, don't let me forget. But Thursday, you need to be there, baby.
yeah, we'll be there.
Be there, be square.
That's right.
So what do you think's happening right now? And we'll go to our national politics with our House Speaker. You
Yep.
know, you're part of, the House here in Tennessee, so
Yeah.
you kind of have a little bit of an insight maybe to tell people what's going on, the jockeying of positions, and
Yeah.
what do you see happening?
So we kind of got an update from Andy and talked about it a little bit on Saturday, so I'll break it down for everybody. Basically, what had happened originally was, McCarthy made some promises. He didn't fulfill those promises.
Well, that's called broken promise.
That's right. It's exactly what that is. And a core group of individuals were tired of it, and they made a stand, made a motion for him to go. They had to vote, and he left. So now, basically, Congress is in a deadlock because they don't have a speaker. They can't conduct any business. They can't continue on going forward because they don't have a chair.
Well, they have a speaker pro tem.
Pro tem, but his only
But his
yep.
job is just to fill that speaker's seat.
Yeah.
That's it. Nothing else. Not
Yeah.
to conduct any
Yep.
business. A lot of people don't understand
Yeah,
that.
Speaker Pro Tem's only job is to elect a new speaker. So right now, Congress is in a deadlock. They can't conduct any business until they get a new speaker. Now, it came out that Steve Scalise, who's the majority leader from Louisiana, I believe, great state of Louisiana, he was in the running for it. And then we had Jim Jordan, congressman out of Ohio, I believe, former national champion wrestler, great conservative, all-star. He's in the running. So Steve Scalise backed out, and from what I've heard from some others is that Scalise had a pocket of votes, but he couldn't quite get about 30 core conservatives to move his way, and whether that's based on policy, whether that's based on animosity, whether that's payback, you can leave it up to your own interpretation, but he just couldn't get to the number that he needed. So he backs out, and now we've got Jim Jordan. From what I've heard, Jim Jordan has a good shot to get it. Now, I'm not as involved as other people are that would know. There's been some other names that have thrown around. Shout out Mark Green. Congressman Mark Green's name's been thrown out there. What's that guy from Texas has been thrown out there? I can't remember his name. But there's been some others that have been thrown out there. But the thing that I see is the problem right now is our country's in a mess. I mean, we're just in a terrible, terrible way as far as the debt goes, as far as now we've got this war going on in the Middle East. We've got no leadership at all as far as from the Biden administration.
Well, that's why we got this war going on in the Middle East.
Exactly. It was the Biden administration's fault. I mean, this would never happen under Trump. We all know that. Trump wouldn't have put up with that at all.
Well, he wouldn't have financed it.
No. Well, no.
This administration, they gave Iran $6 billion last month. They also have given the PLO, the Palestinian Authority, $1.5 billion.
Yeah.
And let's not think about all the weapons that were
we left
in
them
Afghanistan.
everything. We left them Apache helicopters and sniper rifles, and
they have found their way over to Hamas.
Yeah.
And you might give me a little.
Oh yeah. Well, let's finish up on the speaker thing, and then we'll go on that one. But the thing that I see is the problem, and just from my own personal opinion, this is not anything that I've heard. This is just Kip Capley telling you what Kip Capley thinks. I don't know who would want it. I wouldn't want it, because you can only 8 people. If you make 8 people mad at you,
you're gone.
You're gone. You're done.
I think it's less than that. I think it's 5.
Maybe it's 5.
I think it's 5.
There were 8.
5 that went. Maybe it is 5. The majority. I don't know.
Yeah,
folks,
it's only 5.
If you make bottom line, if you make a handful of people mad at you, you're done. You're gone. And then
all
we have
them
to do this
Democrats, like we've said time and time again on this show, they stick together like fleas on a dog's back.
And let's just accept it, folks. There ain't a whole lot of people. I mean, especially across the country, that are as conservative as we are.
We were talking about this just a couple of minutes before the show came on. We got a new word out there. We got a lot of trans Republicans. I'm tired of the word rhino. Mm-hmm. And which stands for Republican in name only. Mm-hmm. We got a lot of trans Republicans. Shout out to Uncle Richard Archie has come up with that new terminology. I like anything he comes up with. You do too. I think Kip, you're a third that. Mm-hmm. But the thing about it, we even got it right here in our own house. Yeah. In the great state of Tennessee.
That's right.
We got a super majority in the House.
Yes, sir.
And then we get in a pen contest up there because of one thing, and then we go against each other. I'm going to vote against you this time because you wasn't supportive of my bill.
Yep.
Well, we're not looking out for what we're really up there for in the House, whether it be the State House or the White House.
Yeah, well, and
we let our own personal emotions and feelings enter into things instead of taking care of business, taking care of our country, our state, and our constituents.
It's a critical time right now, especially in Washington, for Republicans to stand together. I mean, we have to. We don't have a choice. We don't have the Senate. We don't have the White House. All we've got is the House, and now you've got. I think Jim Jordan can get it done. I really do. I think he's a great leader. I think he can get it done, but. Again,
well, I wouldn't
want it. I really wouldn't.
All these squishy trans Republicans, whatever name we want to give them, in every state, including our own.
Yes, sir.
We have got to look at these that are not doing the will of the state, the will of the constituents, and we got to have somebody to primary their rear end out of office. We got to get rid of them.
Yeah.
We got a little house cleaning. We got to lift up the welcome mat and get that dust out of there.
That's
right. Cobwebs. We've got it right here with some of our representation from the great state of Tennessee in Congress.
Yeah.
They're not doing the will of the people. Some of them got a F failing grade. We've got 9 House members, 8 are Republican.
Yeah.
But we got two that needs to be looked at real hard, and one's in West Tennessee.
Yep.
So we'll let the cat out of the bag. He's got almost every county in West Tennessee, and then that other thing over there in Memphis has got the Memphis area, you know. But like I said, we got a mess. We got a clean house. And, you know, what really bothers me is this morning I listened to a guy, by the way, I think he's got a fake toupee on. I think he's a congressman in Alabama. So Alabama, I think y'all need to get rid. What's the guy that struck at Matt Gaetz? Mike Lee, is that his name?
I think that's right.
He's a congressman from Alabama, and then now he's calling Tim Burchett. Better say that right. That's the way they do it in East Tennessee. Tim Burchett. He's now calling him a traitor. Well,
he's one of the more conservative members that we have in Tennessee.
He ranks number one most conservative out of all of our 8 congressmen up there. And that's pretty good to be number one.
That is.
Yeah,
he's not looking at second or third. He's number one.
Yeah, because Desjardins and Mark Green both are fairly conservative.
They're right there with him. But, you know, Tim this year ranked number one. And for Alabama to call one of my Tennessee congressmen a traitor, I think we need to primary and work in his district and get his butt out of there. Him and his toupee, they need to go to the house.
Well, you know, they got too much time on their hand because they're not watching Alabama football this year because Alabama's not doing as good as they normally do.
Clay Doggett, did you hear that? The tale of the tale is going to be this Saturday, y'all, because Tennessee's been spot on a couple of games, but they've been gerrymandered.
Lord have mercy.
Through the rest of them. They're lucky to have won the ones they have, and Alabama is in the same boat.
Yeah, they are.
So this is going to be who's got the bragging rights up and down 65. Let's put it that way.
That's right. That's exactly
we're just not used to Alabama not having the, you know, being in the top 5 or top 3 even at this time of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think Saban's about to have a big hemorrhage if something don't happen or blow him.
He about lost his mind that Arkansas game.
He did.
On the sideline. I thought he was going to pass out.
It's fun to watch him. He sort of reminds me of Steve Spurrier back in the Spurrier days.
Yes,
you know.
sir. Tennessee native, by the way.
So that's right. Johnson City, great guy, and he just ended up going to the wrong school in college.
Right. That's exactly right. Lawrence, what you got?
Well, I tell you what I got. You know, when we're talking about, you know, what's going on with Israel, and I tell you that's been. I'll be honest with you, that's just been my focus because I kind of look at everything biblically first, and then I look to see what's happening. But one of the things that I really noticed, and I wanted to bring this up, especially, you know, after we just got having this huge fight against our own Republican governor on about guns, you know, and make no mistake, the special session, the original call for the special session is for gun control. Don't let them try to tell you any different, because the people that are up there, they're not up there saying, oh, well, you know, we just want to have, you know, common sense gun laws. No, they want to take your guns.
Guess what? It's coming back up in the regular session in January.
We got some things we'll have to work on for sure.
It
is, and people are going to have to get involved. But let me tell you what was kind of concerning for me. One of the things that was really concerning for me is, as we all know, and there's no argument here, Israel has the most secure border in the world.
Yes.
Of all the countries, Israel has the most secure border. They know when a cockroach...
Wait a minute, I thought it was U.S.
No. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. But I'm going to get to the U.S. border, by the way.
Yeah, I've got it in a press release right here, too.
So, Israel has the most secure border in the world. How is it, and I'm just going to tell you, and it's one or two ways. Either the Israeli government let it happen or they're incompetent. And I'm going to let them pick for that to have happened. It's one or the other. For that, because they, like I said, I mean, I'm kind of being a little bit facetious when I say this, but they know when a cockroach crosses over that border. And for them to have that happen where you had more than 500, maybe upwards of 1,000 Hamas terrorists cross over that border, go in and pull families out of their homes, kill them, shoot them, rape them,
Women,
steal them,
children, babies.
take them,
Yeah.
Take them as human shields.
take them as human shields. So let me ask you something. Have you guys thought, how could that happen? Could you see that? Let me ask you this. Could you see Hamas coming into any small town here like we live in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, and doing that?
Well,
what do you think would happen?
The thing that's weird about that too, that I can't understand, is that every Israeli citizen has to serve in the military at some point in their life.
And then they take away
That's
their
the
guns.
men, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's
No, men and
men
women.
and women.
Men and
They have
women.
to
Okay.
train.
Yes.
They have to go through training, and they have to do some kind of service in the Israeli military at some point in their life.
So unlike the movies, okay?
I'm sure there's some exceptions, but
Right, but unlike the movies, you're not going to go. A woman is not going to go disarm a man holding a
No.
M4 and AK-47,
No.
or even a man is not going to do that.
no.
And you know why that happened? Because Israel has one of the strictest gun laws in the world. Do you know that only 2.5% of their population has a handgun? Hear me out. A handgun. Now, Kip, if you're going into battle, are you taking a handgun or are you taking a rifle?
I'll probably take both.
Well, I know, but if you had your choice, what are you going to take?
I'll definitely take a rifle for sure.
That's correct. So long guns are almost non-existent in Israel allowed to own.
Except in the military.
Except in the military. But you know what? That just tells us again. Do you not know that they were calling their police and they're calling the military when this stuff was happening? And you know what the police did? They showed up with body bags. You know why? They showed up with body bags. Because A, they couldn't get there in time, number one. Number two, the people didn't have guns to defend themselves. So hence we have this problem that Israel could not defend themselves. They allowed the border to be breached. So I'm bringing all this up now to tell you this. America does not have a secure border.
We don't.
At
That's
all.
correct. Nothing.
At all.
North or south, east or west.
And the only thing that is keeping things like what happened in Israel happening here is because of the Second Amendment. And
Yeah.
the people are still afraid that the people have guns. But make no mistakes, we're hearing this all the time, that there's sleeper cells here, there's
Was
sleeper
it-
cells here.
Was it
I
Roosevelt?
firmly believe
Who
that.
said it? It was Roosevelt or Eisenhower. It was somebody. Maybe it was one of the generals that said the only reason that the U.S. will never be invaded is because the populace is armed to the teeth.
Right. Well, even
Yeah,
Japan.
I can't remember who that was.
I think it was Eisenhower, because even Japan, before they bombed Pearl Harbor,
Yeah.
Japan said we will never infiltrate the United States because there will be a gun behind every blade of
Oh, yeah.
grass.
Everything.
And even now, today, even with them trying to control as much as our government is with our guns, there's still 1 million guns a month that are currently being sold in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
I'm bringing all of this up to say this.
Yep.
If you let that Second Amendment fall, if you let one piece of the Second Amendment fall, and I don't care what their talking point is, I don't care what they say,
Yep.
if you let any little bit of it, they're not going to stop there until you
right.
are disarmed.
You're exactly right.
And that's what I need people to understand. Here's the other thing. Okay, most secure border in the world, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody can disagree with that. How was it that Hamas got guns?
Yeah. I know.
You know how they got guns? Because it was snuck in. So let me ask you this. Even if we got rid of the Second Amendment, do you think that's going to stop guns from being brought in by the
Exactly.
people that are
That's
looking
exactly
to
right.
do...
That's
The black
exactly- you're
market
exactly right.
is where they're going to get
It's the
guns.
same thing in the
Same
U.S.
thing in the US.
It's the same thing here. You look at Chicago, you look at Memphis, you look at New York, you look at everything else. I don't know what the statistic is, but it's a large percentage of all gun violence related incidents are used with stolen or scratched off firearms.
You brought up another good talking point. Think about this, Kip. Why everybody's trying to defund the police. Same thing. It's taking away the power, getting rid of the police,
Yeah.
and you just got a free for all.
Yeah.
You know, and one thing that bothered me about the what went on in Israel with Hamas is they were using paraplanes to fly in there at two-seaters and shooting people in these paraplanes.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something. If I seen something like that and they were shooting, to me that'd be like going skeet shooting with a shotgun.
gonna say.
I'd be like, pull. I'd be like telling Kip.
I mean,
pull.
that could not fly in the U.S., baby. That would have so many holes.
But, hey, listen, everybody out here in this good in God's country, right here in good Lawrence County, Tennessee, Giles, Murray, Wayne. Just because there are some folks that fly a paraplane around here from time to time, don't shoot them.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
not unless
Hey,
they've
if
got an AK-47 and they're shooting at you.
If
But
that happened,
that duck hunting brings on the movie I saw yesterday, The Blind. I encourage everybody to go see that about Phil Robinson.
Yeah.
Very good story.
yeah. If that happened in the U.S., you'd be smelling black powder for months. I mean, it would just be, whew,
Hey,
yes,
yeah.
Lord.
You would hope we would.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know where we live, we would.
I know.
This just came hot across. I was looking up what you were saying, who made that quote, Kip.
Yeah.
But this came in as I picked up my phone. This year alone, you know where the number one country in the great state of Tennessee the refugees are from?
The number, let me, hold on. It's got to be south of, it's South America, right?
No, it ain't.
China?
Is it
Syria.
Syria, really?
We have got more Syrians in Tennessee this year than other countries.
No.
We've got 35 refugees from Syria.
I know Nashville's got a big Kurdish population.
Yeah, they got the largest in the United States, I
Yeah,
believe.
that's right, which is different, but,
Right.
you know, that doesn't surprise
But
me.
it's just amazing of where all these folks are coming from. Congo, Venezuela, Guatemala, like you would,
Yeah.
Iraq, Ukraine, Colombia, El Salvador.
Now, are these legal or illegal?
These are refugees.
Okay, these are actually
we
these
don't
are
know
people
about
that,
the illegals.
right. I'm saying these are people that actually came into this country somewhat legally.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
Yes, They've
Okay.
got paperwork on them. They know they're tracking them. They know where they went.
Which-
The other ones, I would say you could probably take Syria and multiply that 100 times over. Well, 10 times.
To finish up on the Israel-Hamas deal, we just need to smack Hamas right in the mouth and be done with it. I'm tired of hearing about
And
it.
strip out the Gaza Strip.
I mean, just I don't want to say what I want to say, but just be done with them. I'm tired of hearing about it.
Well-
People are dying over there. Let's just get it done.
They are dying, but the other thing is, and I'm going to play devil's advocate over here, and I feel bad for the people that are over there that are caught in the middle of it, that are actually innocents.
Yeah.
But I will also say this: it also made me very mad to see when 1,200, 1,300 Israeli people were being slaughtered. And let's face it,
Oh, we got Americans over
they're
there.
slaughtering.
There's been Americans.
Yeah, there's
that
like
have been
15
killed.
or
Yeah.
20 Americans being killed too.
No, 29.
29 now?
29.
29 now. Okay.
a lot.
So, but then they were showing some of these people, not all, but some of these people were out in the streets celebrating.
Yeah, oh yeah. We've got people in the U.S. that are celebrating.
Oh, I know that.
That's just crazy. We had the rock at UT got painted up in support of Hamas.
What?
Yes, sir.
The Palestinian flag.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Painted the rock. And then somebody come behind them and then painted, peace for both sides, Israel.
Why don't
and
we
then
just
Star
put it
David.
orange? Why don't we just paint it orange what it needs to be?
I agree with you. You got one side that says just get it done and be over with, and then the other line of thinking is just let Israel handle it. I mean, just turn them loose, let them deal with their own business. I mean, I think they had, like, I seen on the news, they had 300,000 troops ready to go. Just let them handle their own
And they were
business.
coming from all over the world, too, to get back to Israel to do
mean-
that. But you know what? That just shows you where we're at with our universities and everything right now, that you're going to go and you're going to celebrate violence like that.
It's funny to me, and since we're on this topic, we've had a lot of these these liberal individuals celebrating Hamas and supporting Hamas and all this stuff. Is that what they don't realize, and what they're too ignorant to realize is that, first off, if you're a homosexual over there, you're dead.
They'll kill you.
They will kill you immediately. They'll behead you. They'll stone you. If you're a female, you have to wear, what's it, the full
Burqa.
burqa, hijab, whatever
Yep.
it is. You can only have your eyes showing. You're not allowed to drive. Women
You can't
basically
go
have
anywhere.
no rights.
You can't go anywhere without a brother, father, husband.
You have zero rights as a female. Zero. And they want to support Hamas when Hamas is murdering children and women and using them as bodies, body
Cutting their
shields,
heads off.
cutting their heads off, and but they want to support that though, because that's
there was something in the Bible about that, wasn't there?
U.S. Congressman.
In Revelation.
yeah, we got a congressman that's
We got a couple of them. You got AOC, you got that Talib,
supporting,
the squad. They call them the
it's
squad.
just a disgrace.
You know, we got a squad here too.
We
You know,
do.
the Tennessee Three. They're just as ignorant.
they are.
And guess what? One of them's going to be in Pulaski Saturday. Gloria Johnson.
Now, did you already make a donation to her campaign, Chris? Or are you waiting?
Are you
That's Gloria Johnson campaign headquarters.
That's right, baby.
Don't you know that?
That's right.
I called him the other day. God's honest truth, and he can't deny this.
Uh-oh.
I call him the other day, and he goes, Joe Biden's election headquarters.
Oh,
I did it for maintenance.
we're getting into the weeds
I
here,
see
folks.
Mark's calling, and I said, Joe Biden campaign headquarters. How may I help you?
We're getting into the weeds.
See, he can't deny it.
Uh-oh.
He's
Well-
hiding in the plain open. Is what he's
Hiding
doing.
Biden.
Yeah.
Hiding Biden.
Yeah. We're not going to be riding with Biden. I think y'all know better than
Hiding
that.
and riding.
You know,
But-
you're talking about what Hamas did or they'll do to the homosexuals. What about Clemson demanding tampons in the men's bathroom?
Do what?
You heard me.
Do what?
The Clemson University,
I'm telling you.
they had a big uproar this weekend
In Clemson, South Carolina.
in Clemson, South Carolina, because they are not putting tampons in men's bathrooms.
I'm
That
telling you.
must be them homies over there that.
Sodomites.
We've fallen.
they're called sodomites.
We've fallen so short of the grace of God. I can't stand it.
Is that for their diarrhea?
I can't. I'm
Yeah,
telling
in
you.
their mouth, maybe.
When let me ask y'all something.
Yeah.
Where did it go wrong? Was it Obama? Was it? I know everybody
No.
blames Obama.
Oh, no.
Was it in the 90s?
Before that.
Was it
way
Clinton?
before.
What
No,
happened?
No.
1963, when we took
1963.
prayer. When we took prayer out of school.
Yeah, that's a good
Then,
point. Yeah.
1973, when we had an abortion. Let me tell you where it went wrong.
Roe v. Wade.
1973. Let me tell you where it went wrong. I'm going to read
Break
you
it down
something.
for us.
I'm going to break it down for you.
Come on.
We're going to Romans chapter 1.
Okay.
And I'm
Romans
gonna-
chapter 1.
And I'm going to start with verse 16, and I'm going to read to verse 32. You want to know where it went wrong?
Yep,
I'm
let's hear.
about to show you.
All right.
For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek. For therein is the righteousness of God revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. Does that sound familiar right
It
now?
does.
It does.
Because of that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God has showeth it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power, the Godhead, so that they are without excuse. And I'm sorry, when I read that right there, all you got to do, if you don't believe in God, go out and look at the stars at night. Look at this earth and really look at the trees and everything else. Look at the birth of a child. And you do not believe in God? He's showing himself in his creation. That's what that verse means. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. Does that sound familiar?
Sounds like right now.
Yeah.
Sodom and Gomorrah. Let's go back a little bit. Go back in the book of the Old Testament.
Yeah, that'd be Genesis chapter 6, actually, where it starts. And changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to a corruptible man, and to birds, and four-footed beasts, and creeping things. Of course, we've heard of furries, hadn't we?
We've
Yeah.
heard of furries, and then I think in Birmingham, there's been a statue erected of half man, half beast.
Well, it gets worse. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanliness through their lust of their own hearts to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. That we had the sexual revolution of the 60s. Okay?
It is.
I'm going to keep going.
Yep.
Woodstock.
Yep. who changed the truth of God into a lie and worshiped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause God gave them up until vile affections, for even their women did change their natural use into what is against nature. Do you know what that means? That's talking about being a lesbian.
Yeah.
And likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one towards another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was met. It gets worse. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient.
There's a famous word.
Yeah.
Yes, that's where I get it from. Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication. Listen to this. I'm reading the King James Version, by the way.
It's a good version.
Yep. Being filled with unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignancy, whisperers, backbiters, hater of God, despiteful, proud boasters, inventors of evil, disobedience to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, but not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them.
You just described a Democrat.
I just described our world right now.
That's true. I was just.
Yeah.
I just had to throw that in there because
Yes.
you know how I truly feel. We all know how each other feels.
I want the Democrats to come to God. I want, and I'm sorry, but if you believe
He's a
in
kind,
abortion,
caring, merciful God.
He is. But
And
he's
he loves
also a
everybody.
vengeful,
Yeah.
wrathful. I mean, people don't. We got a society now, and I'm trying to keep my blood pressure low. We got a society now, and I'm not perfect. I'll be the first one to admit it. I've made mistakes. I'll keep making mistakes.
We all
and
sin
things,
every day.
Things are going to keep happening, and it is what it is. Okay. We've got a society now, and it starts at the church house where you preach on feel good, love everybody, everything's going to be okay, we're all going to be all right. You need to come to know Jesus because he loves everybody, and he does. He does. I want everybody to know Christ. I want everybody to come to know the Lord because I want to see everybody in heaven one day. But I'm telling you something right now. We serve a powerful, powerful God, and he is going to have his vengeance one day. And I promise you, if you are not right with the Lord, ain't nobody saving you but
You're going to see
Jesus.
the wrath
You're going to
of
see
God.
it firsthand. And it is a crying, and I'm probably going to make somebody mad when I say this, but I'm just going to be honest. I'm on another level today, and I don't give a damn. If you support killing babies, if you support Hamas, if you support people spitting in the face of our police, if you support terrorists killing our boys and girls overseas, if you're against the very fabric of our country, we are coming for that rear end. I promise you. We're not taking this anymore. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing it in the news. I'm tired of these people in these liberal colleges going against the very fabric of our country. I'm over it. It's a damn shame that us three have to sit here on the radio and say, hey, you shouldn't be spitting in the face of law enforcement. You shouldn't be killing babies. You shouldn't have to put tampons in a men's bathroom. You shouldn't be taking firearms away from each other. You shouldn't be going out in the street and disrespecting folks and attacking the innocent. You shouldn't be supporting a literal terrorist regime overseas. What are we doing? I mean, why do we have to sit here and say that? It's a damn shame. It is. It's crazy.
because it was in Isaiah that in the end times that good will be called evil and evil will be called good.
And
how many
We've
times?
said that numerous times.
How many times have we said on this show? I bet if we've said it once, we've said it 30 times. How many times have we said on this show the homosexual community has come out and said multiple different times, we're coming for your kids.
Yes.
They've said it.
We're here.
Well,
We're here.
queer.
We're queer. We're coming for your kids.
Yes.
You know, Lawrence says this is, we've gone over this time and time and time again,
awesome.
and you did an awesome job. I agree wholeheartedly. But how do two women procreate. How do two men procreate?
They don't. They have to recruit.
They
the thing.
recruit
Here's the
children.
thing.
That's what they're doing.
I don't care if you're black, white, if you're the party of Mickey Mouse, if you're a Republican, if you're a Democrat, if you're whatever, if you're a homosexual, whatever. Leave children out of it, first off. Leave them out of it. It doesn't need to be in our face. I don't go around parading my straightness to folks. We don't go out in the street and have straight rallies up and down the road talking about how we love women and we're straight heterosexual males and the power of which we probably need to be out in the street promoting the power of family and everything else.
Absolutely.
Which we try
family.
to do.
That's
we
right.
try to do the family part of
Right.
it, but we don't put that in everybody's face. I don't want to see that. I don't care. I don't want to see it. Why does it need to be in my face? Why do you need my approval? That's what I can't figure out. Why do you need me to approve of what you do?
Can I tell you why?
I don't get it.
Can I tell you why?
Please.
Deep down inside, they don't even approve of themselves.
That's right. Insecurity.
You're right. You're exactly right, Lawrence.
Because a secure.
You're exactly right.
That's
a good point.
You're in politics.
Mm-hmm.
You know a alpha male when you see it. Does a man's man, does he need your approval?
No. You care less.
Do you look for other people's approval?
No,
or do you do how you were raised?
How many times have I said, you can
Your
love me,
upbringing.
you can love me or hate me, I'm going to do what I think is right, and at the end of the day, we're just going to have to get
There's
over it.
3 alphas right here.
Right.
Yeah. You're just going to have to get over it. I mean, I don't, look, there's people that don't like me, and that's fine.
Kid, when
That's fine.
said that to somebody today, you either like me or you don't.
That's right.
And why they don't like you is because we tell them like it is.
Well, and I'm
people
not
don't want to hear the truth.
And we just talked about this. Excuse me. We just talked about this the other day. Love me, hate me. I'm not going to change. I'm not changing for you. I'm not changing for nobody else. It's not going to change because I was raised a certain way. I was brought up in church by the grace of God, my mama and granny, and everybody else.
Shout out to
Mama and Granny,
I love
baby.
Granny, man.
Shout out to Mama and Granny.
That's right. When we talk about Granny.
Shout out Mama and
You got a
Granny.
great mother,
I
too,
mean, shout out Mama and Granny. I was raised in church, and look, again, I know there's people that don't like me, and that's fine. I could care less. I'm not changing for nobody. I'm not. And we've got a problem right now in this country.
You got principles. And you got a foundation.
People that don't have strong enough foundations or strong enough morals to stand in the gap and say enough is enough. And I know the folks back home, we're talking to you. We know you're tired of this crap. We know you are.
And we're fighting.
We're trying.
Yes.
We are fighting tooth and nail to stand up for what's right, but we need your help.
That's right.
Well,
We need your help.
Let me bring it in a little bit. I've still got
Yeah,
that.
we're going on the tirade there.
Yeah. I want to still talk about the person that made that quote. I'm looking at several good quotes, several great things.
Talking about going back to
one of the greatest people.
arm to the teeth quote. Is that what you're talking about? Going back.
Well, yeah, true. But
which one are you talking about?
that one.
Okay.
One of the greatest people. Jesus Christ was the greatest human that ever walked the face of the earth.
Yes, sir.
We know that.
Yes,
But one
sir.
of the greatest people that ever walked the face of this country was Thomas Jefferson.
It's a good one.
Whether people like it or not, he was a great, great individual.
Yeah.
And I've been looking at some of the things. I think part of that, what you're talking about, ties back to Thomas Jefferson.
Could be.
So, got a couple of updates. I want to shout out to Mark Green, like you said earlier.
Yes, sir.
One of the things I just wanted to mention to you, and then we're fixing to get in the weeds on something real quick.
Okay,
and
that's
you're
fine.
Gonna love this, Lawrence. But Mark Green did put out the Biden's administration's decision to refreeze the $6 billion in funds released to Iran last month was the right move, and we all agree with that. We cannot allow Tehran to further subsidize terrorism. One of the other things he gets way into one of his things he's hitting home, an open border is the number one threat in this country our nation is facing today, is these open borders. And we heard a great analogy of this from Andy Ogles. I wished you could have heard it.
Yeah,
him
he
going
did.
into
He did a great
Arizona,
job doing that.
Going
yeah.
over into Mexico, down in a gully, or down in a draw, as we would call it around here in the country.
Yes, sir.
And then the cartels on horses. They launch a helicopter, the U.S. military, to fly or Border Patrol to fly the border as they were down in that area. You know, and it's a crying shame. And he's talking about how they're just coming across these borders like no tomorrow, and they're wearing carpet shoes.
Yep.
And that, you know, a lot of people, what's carpet shoes? Well, it's shoes where you can't see them.
Yeah, they wrap carpet around their feet.
They wrap carpet around their feet, where they cover their trail. Like in the Western days, they would take, to cover the horse's trail, they'd take a limb, a bush, and brush the horse's hoof prints, you know, same thing. But, you know, he says that's the number one threat. And now the threat of terrorism hitting our communities. It's never more imperative than right now to secure the border. So we got, you know, everybody knows that. And the last, when we recorded our show for Friday, we talked about there's been greater than 20,000 Chinese nationalists to cross
Men.
cross the border this year that are military trained.
Military trained, military
now,
aged
I'm telling
men.
you, like I said the other day, they're on a mission. They're going to, they know, they got a roadmap where they're going, whether it be Philadelphia, it be Portland, it be Memphis or Nashville or Oak Ridge or something like that. They are there.
Yep.
And,
We know this.
And we know Joe Biden has destroyed this country and his administration. He don't know where he's at.
No.
He don't know whether, like I've said numerous times, if Jesus was crucified or killed by the Indians. He don't know.
No, he has no idea.
He has no idea. You know that, and I know that. But something that's really, really, let's bring this home to Tennessee, because you guys in the House and ladies, y'all got some work.
Yes, we do.
You've got some major work. Matter of fact, I want to read a letter that's going to Bill Lee from me and from others. It's just not me. I was not an author of this. It's just been passed on to me. And the letter is dated October the 20th, Friday, and it's to the governor. It says, Dear Governor Lee, we want to express our deep concern at the appointment of Lizette Reynolds and her subsequent appointment of Dr. Bryn Elliott to the position of State Turnaround Superintendent. We are concerned with this appointment we are concerned with this appointment considering your voice statements on value of class education, a focus on literacy, and your stated belief in ACE charter schools. Researching Ms. Reynolds and Dr. Elliott's backgrounds, they have different agendas than what our children need. Their focus is on racism, diversity, and inclusion. And in most disturbing, their focus should be on teaching, reading, writing, and arithmetic skills that allow all people to move forward in life. The state's testing provides evidence that only 35 to 40% of our children are proficient in reading and math. And even 66% of third graders and 64% of middle school teachers are failing.
Yes, sir.
There are good teachers out there, and we know it.
Yeah.
But this agenda, and this was not started under Governor Lee's administration, brother.
Oh, I know.
Bill
Haslam was just as bad or worse.
Haslam is all over this. And, you know, although our legislators passed laws banning CRT in our schools, it continues to be taught. Some of Nashville teachers were bold enough to state their intentions in the newspapers. The social emotion learning, better known, and we love these acronyms, SEL, taught in our schools promote the LGBTQ plus agenda, which is something that should be shared at home. These are things that need to be talked about in the house, not in the schoolhouse. We also need accurate teachings about history, our Constitution, and our country's founders in the classroom, which is not being taught. It's time for our educators and legislators to acknowledge what takes place in the classroom. And it is time that our legislators pass a parental rights bill.
Yeah.
So these are things that are going on. And then I've got articles that says these Democrats are in disguise. There are squishy Republicans. Tennessee Democrat school board member bashes state's prohibitive concepts law and insults the Blount County conservatives. This is in Blount County, Tennessee, over around Knoxville. And it talks about this woman that came out of the closet and let everybody know that she's a true Democrat, flaming liberal. And what she's trying to do. And in the last part of this article, Kemp finished her presentation by announcing there will be a lawsuit filed by the ACLU, and I wish they'd go take a hike, and the TEA, and that's somebody else that needs to go take a hike, currently in the federal court attempting to undo what Kemp called the stupid law. So y'all banning CRT, that's y'all's new name is the stupid law by these darn Democrats.
Well, I need to come out with something here with you guys. I mean, I'm just going to let you know.
Come on out.
I support LGBT. And I'm going to tell you what it is.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Hang on, everybody. Hold to your seat quick. And
Lord.
I am a LGBT supporter. It is liberty, guns, beer, and Trump.
Well, I'll be dead.
I scared the heck out of you guys at first. You should have seen y'all's face.
I sure hope you're not supporting Bud Light.
I thought I was going to have to call Brother Mickey for a minute. And I thought, oh, Lord. Oh,
You
Lord.
should have seen y'all's face. I wish
Lord.
That Kodak moment.
Hey, everybody, you're going to have to go to Facebook Live. You're going to have to go to YouTube, and you're going to have to see these guys' face when I said that.
I was just thinking in my mind, I thought, Lord, we're going to have a revival with Lawrence here.
Always
Lord have mercy.
expect the unexpected.
That's right. That's exactly right.
But, another thing, too, over in Jackson County, Madison County, Jackson, Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
The superintendent of that school system is threatening to file a lawsuit against Tennessee over classical education charter schools initiative, your charter schools. He has boldly come out against ACE. So, here we are. We got these educators fighting everything that we're trying, that you guys, most of you guys that's called a Republican, are trying to do the right thing. And then we got these idiots trying to stir up all kinds of animosity. So we need
Stupid law. I like that. The stupid law.
They're calling.
We got a bunch of stupid laws, but that ain't one of them.
I mean, it's just this kind of stuff. This hit the press today, and it just makes you sick. Matter of fact, the Madison County school system is meeting at 6:30 tonight to discuss this.
Well, I tell you what, it just reminds me of the fact of what we just got through reading and discussing with Romans chapter 1. I mean, it's in our face. And
it is.
And there's...
People don't care either. It's crazy, isn't it?
I don't know if they don't care or they could. I don't want to judge people too much because I was there where we're seeing everybody 2 years ago. And you know what?
That's fair.
You helped give me that hope. When I saw you and saw what you went through, that's the reason I'm here.
Well, I appreciate that.
I mean, because before I got to know Clay Doggett, before I really got to know Joey Hensley, I looked at any politician as being nothing but evil, wicked, and liars.
I wish politicians would look out.
Before you even got to know me.
Right.
I wish politicians would look out for minors, not just minors on an island somewhere.
That's right.
Let me read a couple of things that I think people would love to hear.
Yeah.
And then we'll have y'all got A, B, and C like a hold up they used to on Fox, A or B, which one was the correct answer.
Right.
I'm pretty good at trivia now.
All right, let's see how good you are.
Warn you now.
Mm-hmm.
When we get piled up on one another in large cities as in Europe, we shall become as corrupt as Europe.
Already there.
The democracy will cease to exist when you take away from those who are willing to work and give to those who would not work.
Wow.
Think about that one.
Wow.
And let me get over to another
And
one.
then we're even giving what we don't have to countries that actually hate us.
Yeah.
It is an incumbent. It is
Happens all the time.
incumbent. Let me say that right. It is incumbent on every generation to pay its own debts as it goes. A principle which, if acted on, would save one half the wars of the world. To be paying your debt.
War is all about money. Money, when they say the money, that the love of money is the root of all evil, that's what God tells us. Notice he doesn't say money is the root of all evil, it's the love of money.
All right,
that's the root of all evil.
Let me try to get through these. I predict future happiness for all Americans if they can prevent the government from wasting the labors of people under the pretense of taking care of them. My reading of history convinces me that most bad government results from too much government. Let me read that one again. My reading of history convinces me that most bad government results from too much government. Then, y'all are fixing to love these. No free man shall ever be debarred from the use of arms. No freed man. What are they trying to do right now?
Yeah.
The strongest reason for the people to retain the right to keep and bear arms is, as a last resort, is to protect themselves against tyranny and government.
Kind of like what happened to Israel, wasn't it? Except
Right.
they didn't have the ability to defend themselves because it was taken from them.
That is
Now,
correct.
The last two I'm going to read. The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with blood of patriots and tyrants. To compel a man to subsidize with his taxes and ideas which he disbelieves and abhors is sinful and tyranny, or tyrannical, however you...
Tyrannical.
Tyrannical. There you go. Thank you. Who do you think said all these great statements?
Sounds like Thomas Jefferson.
You're 100% correct. Bing, you get the prize. You get the bozo button. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
So some of these quotes that Ronald Reagan pulled from, he pulled from the great Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
And that's why I was trying to look, and there's more of them. I think what you were trying to say earlier is part of what Thomas Jefferson was alluding to, and somebody put the spin on it and created it into their own idea.
Could have been. Yeah.
And I think there's a whole bunch of these, but this is where I was looking at this yesterday
Trump rally thing.
to say, hey, look, you know,
We're
big
gonna give a
shout out to Strikers.
Yep, final shout out to Strikers, baby.
Shout out to these two ladies.
That's
these,
right.
These 12-year-old producers.
12-year-old producers.
And guess what? Great cooks.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thanks for the banana bread and the cookies, girls.
Absolutely.
Final thing, everybody mark your calendar. State Senator Joy Hensley, State Representative Scott Serpicki, and our own
Yes, sir.
State Representative Kip Capley
Ta-da.
is cordially inviting you to
Please.
the Murray County Trump Supporters Rally that will be held this coming Thursday,
Folks.
October the 19th at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
In the Memorial Building, 308 West 7th Street in Columbia. If you really don't know where that's at, turn on the street where President Polk's house is.
That's
and it's
right.
straight across the road.
It's right there.
I got to give
Thursday.
a shout out to Joey Hensley real quick. I have, for the last 3 years, you guys know I've been suffering from the gout.
Yes, sir.
Since I seen Joey over a month ago, I've been gout free since.
Shout out Joey.
Shout
Hensley,
out
baby.
Joy Hensley.
Thursday, Trump rally, baby. You need to be there, 6 o'clock, Memorial Building, Columbia. We love y'all.
Until next time.
Hey, you know what?
Don't
God
forget
bless
about-
everybody.
That's right.
And
Amen.
don't forget about our show Friday, Free Speech News.
That's right.
Free
5
Speech
o'clock.
News.
5
We're going
o'clock.
to have Kip on there too with us. He's gonna be on there with us as well.
God bless everybody. God bless the great state of Tennessee. God bless our representatives in the House and Senate. And God bless Lawrence County.
Go to Kip Capley for State Representative on Facebook.